Hey, everybody, welcome back to 13 Rings, an NFC East podcast. I'm your host, Lucas, with Maurice. Earl, no Mal tonight. She has to work, but we do have friend of the podcast, host of Thunder and Lightning podcast, Dan. Dan, welcome back to the pod, man.
What's going on, boys? Thank
What's
God
up?
it was a week that the Giants came off a victory and they looked good. So
Yeah.
what's going
It's
on?
perfect timing for you, right? For sure. And Earl's having some slight technical difficulties. He will be joining us momentarily. It might be a little bit into the pod before he joins us. But before we continue, I do want to let our listeners know, regardless of what platform you're listening on, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or iHeartRadio, make sure that you comment, like the podcast, and share, because we want to make sure we provide the best content to you, and growing this podcast is the best way to do that. So doing that will help us give you guys better content. That being said, we're going to review week 5 predictions. Now, Dan, I don't know how much you listen to the pod when you're not a guest speaker, but prior to the season, we made some preseason, I guess technically preseason predictions about the regular season record. And so Mal made the predictions too in the place of the Giants' interest. So just follow along, I guess, and see if you agree. So week 5, we had the Cowboys winning. All of us did. So that was good.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a little bit closer than everybody thought it was going to be, though.
It was.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when the time comes. But we also, this is interesting, so we had a 50-50 split on the Giants winning this game against Seattle. Well, to be fair, it was in Seattle.
No, I'm shocked that people actually picked the G-Men.
So Mal and Maurice picked them to win, and me and Earl picked them to lose. So me and Earl crow.
I would have been wrong. I would have been wrong with you guys.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Now, this is interesting. Ain't nobody have faith in the Washington Commanders, because outside of me, y'all chose him to lose. And I am offended at this point. I am offended. Because not only did we not lose, we spanked them. And we'll get into that in a minute.
I think we overvalued the Browns.
We all did. Yes.
I thought the Browns were going to be a better team than they were.
And the real question is, are they going to continue starting Watson, or are they going to go with Winston? Because I think Winston gives them a better chance to win at this point.
Well,
big thoughts there, guys?
Well, we play the Browns this coming week, so I would rather have Deshaun Watson, crazy enough.
Fair enough. And then last but not least, the Eagles were on a bye. Maurice, any news on the bye? Anything that you saw from either Eagles news or around the NFC East that you want to chime in on real quick before we get to the main games?
They couldn't hurt them this week.
Say it again, Dan?
I said they couldn't hurt you this week.
No, they could. They could emotionally hurt me. No emotional damage. A couple tidbits of news. As of today, the Eagles, Tuesday, the Eagles released Devin White, linebacker, basically $84 million. Listen, he couldn't play in Vic Fangio's system. He couldn't get on the field. He was a healthy scratch after week 1, and the writing was on the wall. I guess they have more faith in Kobe Dean, Zach Bond at the linebacker position, so they let him walk. And best of luck to Devin White.
Now, I will say, in the Eagles' defense, Zach Bond, despite not playing this week, is still 3rd in the division in total tackles.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to which guys are better in the system, and Zach Bond is flourishing in Fangio's system right now. In other news, it's been reported that A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith will both be available for the Eagles Week 6.
You guys certainly need them.
Yeah, we definitely need them.
We'll get into. I wish you guys played this week, because I really wanted to say some things about Hurts, but
save it for next week.
I sent a video to Dan, and I will just say this: some people at ESPN claim that Jaden Daniels is already better than Jalen Hurts. Just gonna
I understand you're gonna stick to it. Like I said, let's wait to the end of the season. because he's going to eventually hit a rookie slump.
I mean, he had a bad game and still had 200 yards, a touchdown, we still spanked him. He sat the whole entire fourth quarter, but we'll get into that in a second.
Yeah, we'll get to it. And real quick, Eagles are open to practice window on Sidney Brown.
Oh, that's good.
So he had an injury. He tore his ACL the last week of the season, so it's good for him to be back on the field now. I don't know if he's going to start or play at all this coming week, but they've opened the practice window, so that's 4 weeks. So he should be back soon. So reinforcements are on the way for the Eagles.
They certainly need it. They certainly need it, but
just in time to beat the Giants.
We will see. We will see.
There. It's going to be an interesting race, this NFC East. I think it's going to be a much more competitive division than we initially thought.
For sure.
That being said, I think one of the biggest surprises is that 5 games in, the Washington Commanders have a commanding lead over the NFC East. Yes, I know wordplay. Yes, I see. Yeah. But no, in all seriousness, look, they won. It was a blowout. It was 34-13. It was really 34-6 until they got a garbage time TD. And look, Jaden Daniels did not have his best game. Let's be clear. He got sacked a few times. He had a rookie interception. That was a rookie interception. I will admit that. That's a rookie interception if I've ever seen one. So, there's that. And then, look, I mean, if you can rest your rookie QB in the fourth quarter. I mean, look, the guy had a bag. This is a bad game for Jaden Daniels. And let me read you his stat line. 14-25, 238 yards, averaged 9.5 yards per attempt. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 3 sacks. Still had a QBR of 75.6. Had 11 carries for 82 yards. Average yards per carry was 7.5 here. Guys, the guy's fantastic. Another 100-yard receiving game for Terry McLaurin. Second one of the season already, only 5 games in. Terry barely
on fantasy. Yep.
Yeah. So, look, the guy's dynamic. And, I am not trying to overhype this. I'm not. I'm trying to stay level.
I get you, Lucas. You're excited.
No, Lucas, get excited,
but
bro.
What I'm about to say is going to sound like I'm being a homer.
It's been 20 years. It's been 20 years, and you had 2 seasons where
2 good seasons, yeah.
Right. So enjoy it.
But I will then. Well, I say that to preface this statement. I know it is early and things could change, and I'm not saying that that he's the favorite for this, but having him in the MVP conversation is not the wildest take. I'm not saying that he will win it. I don't think that he will, but having him in this conversation this early for a team that, let's be honest, we all looked at this roster and it's there's a lot of holes. And there still are a lot of holes, but he is making up for that with his elite play here, guys. And do I want to see him run that much? No. But he's being smarter about getting out of bounds, not taking hard hits. That's what you want to see. And part of his success here, and I really want to shout out here, is the offensive line play.
Yeah.
The offensive line, and Rio said this. Our friend Rio, we all know Rio, and I don't necessarily disagree. I think him or one of his guests said this, that you can make the argument that the offensive line for Washington has 3 Pro Bowlers on it this year. The interior, Sam Cosme's been great. Tyler Biadasz has been great.
Yeah, that's been a good pickup for you guys.
Yeah, and so the resurrection of Andrew Wiley seems to have happened under our new O-line coach from the Giants. I'm sorry, it wasn't what happened in New York. I don't think was his fault because
I think it was a combination of things.
Yeah, so I'm not going to blame what happened in New York on him.
He was easily the scapegoat.
Yeah, and Brandon Coleman, he has been playing very good this year, splitting time with Cornelius Lucas, a veteran. The offensive line is part of the key to this success here, guys. Gotta give props to Adam Peters for building up this offensive line, which was horrendous last year. One of the worst, either us or the Giants.
Yeah, we were neck and neck with you guys.
Yeah, for sure. So that's, and it's not just Jaden Daniels that's benefiting from this offensive line. It's Austin Eckler. It's Brian Robinson, who was injured. And guys, we barely relied on him. He had 7 carries. That was it. We didn't need any more from him. And he's been a bell cow for us, but he was banged up during the week. We weren't sure if he was going to go. He did go. He got us 2 touchdowns. Didn't get that many yards, but guess what? He was injured. We didn't need him to. Austin Eckler took over.
Great problem to have.
Huh?
Great problem to have.
Great problem to have. Look, Austin Eckler looked like prime Austin Eckler in this game. 6 carries for 67 yards. Had a 50-yard gain at one point. You still had Jeremy McNichols, who's the third lineman on this. Guys, he's a great he's a great pass blocker, very great pass blocker. Might be one of the best in the division here. And on top of that, like, he's not a bad runner either. Like, when he stayed on the roster, I'm like, why? But now I know why. It was a good call. It was a good call. Luke McCaffrey's also a great blocker in the run game. Got to give him credit there. Terry McLaurin. And, of course, we had that. And I'm going to echo here, Rio Robinson. You're going to get one good De'Ami Brown game per year, and this was it.
Yeah,
this was it.
This was it.
This was it. I don't think we're going to have another.
I think he's going to break out this season.
No. He's playing behind Noah Brown. Noah Brown was injured this game, so De'Ami got more run. He's not going to break out, but it's nice to have a De'Ami Brown game. And if you can get 2 or 3 De'Ami Brown games a season, that's a win on your book. I would like for him to break out, but he's not on the depth chart. He's too low on the depth chart here.
I'll say this, Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't mention a name. You didn't mention a person at all.
But I haven't gotten to the defense yet.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the offense.
Okay.
The biggest addition wasn't your head coach. It was your offensive coordinator.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You gotta give him his due, because despite being so bad as a head coach in Arizona, I mean, he wasn't so bad, but he wasn't a good head coach, right? We can agree on that. Mm-hmm. But how he runs an offense and how he develops quarterbacks cannot be questioned.
You're right.
And the nice thing is, I don't think he wants to be a head coach. I think he likes being an offensive coordinator.
I mean, let's see what happens when.
I mean, we'll see what happens. But if he
when Jaden has a chance to be MVP, Rookie of the Year, he's going to be the first ticket out.
All-pro. Like, he is an All-Pro. He has a chance to be an All-Pro this year.
Maybe second team, but yeah.
Second team, yeah, of course, because you got Patrick Mahomes. Like, that's not, yeah.
Mahomes, Josh Allen, when he wakes up.
We'll see. But yeah, no, I mean, like, it's not a lock, but he has a chance for it, for sure. And I get what you're saying, but at the same time, I just think that he's happier. He seems like he fits. And you're right, the offensive coordinator is a big reason why our offense is doing as well. Because a lot of other offensive coordinators would find easy ways to ruin Jaden Daniels. He has not done that.
Oh, yeah. No, he perfectly.
Perfect play calling, perfect amount of the playbook being thrown. Sam Howell got thrown the whole entire playbook and was expected to know it. That's why Sam Howell failed. That in the offensive line. Let's be clear. Like, our offensive coordinator last year, UCLA stinks in the Big Ten this year.
Cliff Kingsbury simplified the offense for Jaden Daniels, and on top of that, he still has his legs. He still has his legs. Like, the thing is, 85 yards he rushed for?
It's 82 yards, on 11 carries. And here's the thing. If you look at it, Jaden, after the first game and part of the second game, he was trying to run. But after he got that big hit, and I forget who threw that big hit on him, Dan, for the Giants. It was one of your linebackers, wasn't it?
I think it was Okereke.
No. It was the white guy. What's his name?
Oh, McFadden.
McFadden. Yeah. So anyway, McFadden threw that hit, and then after that, tell me that he doesn't look like a pocket passing quarterback. Tell me that he doesn't. No,
he was. All we gotta say was that touchdown against the Bengals on Monday night, Terry. That was a big boy throw, man.
Yeah, because he took that hit. He took that hit. That's not a rookie move. That is a veteran move. So I can praise the offense all day long, but I also want to shout out the defense here, because the defense. I mean, yes, we all know Deshaun Watson is pretty awful right now.
Well, yeah, that was insane. That the whole jersey with the names from Browns. Yeah, like half of those names were better than him.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. No, look, like I said, I think Jameis Winston gives him a real shot, but look, our defense didn't give him a chance.
Right.
We had on the game, here's the crazy part. So we had 7 sacks on the game, 7 tackles for loss. Frankie Louvu looked like the defensive player of the year candidate for the NFC East with 2.5 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, 3 QB hits, 7 total tackles. Now he is not leading the NFC East in sacks. Let's be clear that goes to your guys' Dexter Lawrence.
Oh yeah, freak.
Yeah, but look, at the end of the day, Frankie Louvu and Bobby Wagner are a menace as linebackers, and they're about to get the rookie Jordan McGee back, who got very high praise in training camp. Look, our linebackers are, I think it's easy to say that they're the best in the division. I don't even think it's close here. So the defense, we definitely got after the quarterback. Their offensive line is horrendous, let's be clear. But, Louvu had 2.5. Bobby had 1.5. Jonathan Allen got his first sack of the season. And look, Dorrance Armstrong now has 3 on the season from the game. Look, the defense was great. And you talked about simplifying the offense, Maurice. That is what Joe Witt Jr. has done for the defense. He has simplified the defense now. Made it simpler, made it easier for the guys just to get into their actions. Now, against more complex offenses, maybe that becomes a problem. But against the Browns and the Cardinals last week, it paid dividends. Now, I still don't think we have an interception on the season. I'm hoping that changes soon, but we'll see.
That's the weak spot for your defense is the secondary right now.
Yeah, and, I was thinking about this, and, maybe Earl, I was talking to Earl about maybe doing some draft stuff during the season, but if we were in the first round, if we go fast forward to next year's draft, I think first round is probably going to be either an edge or a corner, if I'm being completely honest. Because, our edge position isn't weak, but we don't have that guy on the edge. And then at cornerback, clearly, I mean, St. Juice is good. We know St. Juice is great at defensive positioning, but he's not. And he helped win that game against the Giants. Sorry, Dan. That little pickle punch on that pass. Who was it to? Slayton or Neighbors at the goal line saved the game.
Neighbors.
Yeah. Look, that's the real deal here. Like I said, Washington now, I believe, has a 1-game lead over the Cowboys. That's nice to say. That is really nice to say. And Earl's still having technical difficulties, so he can't join in yet. And I know he wants to say something, but I will say that it's the Cowboys are about to have a really rough stretch. Besides a bye week in Week 7, Giants. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with you guys. I have no idea, Dan. I don't know. You guys, think you guys could be competitive, or you guys.
Hopefully, we have a kicker, a real kicker this game, and you're not kicking 7 field goals this time.
Well, we'll see. But then, no,
that's going to be a good game.
That's yeah. Eagles, Maurice, you already know I don't feel right about any of your coaches, if I'm being honest.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, look, the NFC is wide open, and why not us? Why not? We haven't won it too often. Why not us, right? Last time we won was River Ron's first season.
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah, and that was a 7-8-1 season. So look, I want to win the division, and I want to have a winning record doing it. So, that being said, I think it's been almost 20 years since we've had 11-win seasons. So is it impossible with the games that we have coming up? No, I don't think it's impossible. So we'll see. But okay, I'm done preaching.
Wait a minute, Lucas. What went right? What went wrong?
I mean, I've already told you when we're right. There's not much that went wrong. Like I said, the offense struggled at first.
Okay.
Jaden adjusted. He threw in a rookie interception. He got sacked a few times. But he adjusted. He adjusted as the game went along, and everything else went right. Quan Martin got injured in the fourth quarter. Wasn't thrilled about that, but I think he'll be okay.
Who was your player of the game?
Player of the game. Ooh, this is a tough one here. I'm actually going to give it to Frankie Louvu.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to give it to the defensive guy. I mean, Terry's a good option too, and obviously Jaden. But defense really. They held him to 6 points until halfway through the fourth quarter. gotta give it to Frankie, who was leader of that defense this game. Okay, so yeah, Dan, you're up next, my friend.
What's going on? So yeah, the New York Football Giants won 29-20. They flew all the way to Seattle, and for the first time in a very long time, especially against a very quote unquote a team above them in weight class, they dominated the ball. This is the third week in a row after getting dominated by Washington in the time of possession. This is the third week in a row that the Giants have taken the air out of the ball and just killed the clock and moving the ball up and down the field. Thankfully, this week we actually scored 2 touchdowns, so that was good. Daniel Jones had another clean game. The offensive line played outstanding once again. Similar to what you were saying as well earlier, Lucas, about your offensive line. Our offensive line is playing really crisp and clean, and it's really amazing to see Daniel Jones actually having time to being able to just process a chance to throw. They did play without Devin Singletary.
I think that might have actually been a blessing in disguise, though.
Yeah. So rookie Tyrone Tracy had 129 yards rushing. He had 7 yards per clip. He looked outstanding. So you should be seeing him getting the ball a little bit more here on out. What went wrong for the Giants for the third? Hold on, did they fumble? They're just having fumbling issues the last couple of weeks. Singletary has 2 in bad scenarios, and then on the first drive we were on the Giants were on the 1 yard line, and Gray fumbled, which was too close to overturn, but a 100-yard touchdown is never fun to see. So that would be what went wrong. What went right?
Bryce Ford Whedon.
Yeah, the perfect.
Let's go West Virginia Mountaineers. Sorry.
No, it's all good. So he got the perfect bounce pass on the block. That you couldn't have a perfect bounce to anybody with a football. It looked like they did a 3-man weave. That's how perfect that bounce pass was to him. But yeah, Isaiah Simmons knowing not to touch the center to get a penalty. Very athletic move, blocking the game tying field goal, and then your boy Bryce Ford Wheaton taking it to the house. So, yeah, no, that play was awesome. It was like, oh, here we go again, typical Giants about to choke. Our buddy and your co-host Mal texted me, here we go again, because she knew I was watching both the Giants and Mets. So I was having a meltdown from both teams. So yeah, so it was nice to beat a team by 9 points. Can't even lie. My player of the game,
it's Bryce Ford Whedon, right?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, let's give it to Bryce Ford Whedon. No, in actuality, I would say your rookie running back probably deserves it.
Yeah, Tyrone Tracy, I'll give it to him. Dex got 3 sacks. He has 6 interior linemen. That's absurd. We lead the league in sacks. Who would have thought that at the start of the season? But yeah, this is like a lot of people on Giants like podcasts. We could have cut up the ball 53 ways and they all deserved it, type of thing. But I'm gonna give it to Daniel Jones. Let's face it, against the Cowboys 2 weeks ago, if Daniel Jones makes a pass 15 yards against the Cowboys, we probably would have won. So I'm gonna give it to him. He played an efficient game. He threw the ball deep, like we were all praying that he would start to eventually do to Darius Slayton. Between the fumbles and the drops, if we get that fixed, we can make a run at making things interesting in the division, or dare I say, a wild card spot. So
let's slow down. Let's slow down. I will say this. I will say this. I will say this.
There's no slowing down. I'm not saying anything. We're hanging in these games, and we're playing fine. I'm not saying we're going to the playoffs. I'm just saying we're getting frisky. That's all I'm saying.
Well, okay. I will say that you guys are getting a little bit frisky. On a scale of 1 to 100, you're about
these Washington Commander fans are crazy, bro.
Well, no, okay. So let me give you some credit. Can I give the Giants some credit? Can I do that for you?
Yeah, no, please.
Okay, so I will say this. Joe Shane, has not hit on all of his draft picks.
No, he
Let's
hasn't.
be clear. However, his philosophy of how to build a team is correct.
Correct.
And he has hit on his free agent signings. I don't think he's missed on his free agent signings. Correct me if I'm wrong. So
he's been pretty good. I'll be honest with you. I
Mhm.
hated that we got. Looking back at it now, McKinney has 5 picks already for the Green Bay
Yeah, I
Packers.
saw. I told Mal, I'm like, you guys cannot lose McKinney, but she's like,
and then what's rough. I like Burns. Burns is a good player. He fits what our defense is supposed to be. But we did give up a pick along with that, so we could have kept McKinney, have that second pick with the Leo trade. But whatever, that's under the bridge.
Well, would have McKinney have thrived as much in New York as he is currently with Green Bay? That's the real question.
Probably not, but I think he would have been fine.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. So we talk about all the things. I think the Giants have a good team built, like a good.
Yeah, they're starting
roster.
to build. But
I will say this:
they're very
if you guys want to be an actual competitive team, this is Daniel Jones's last season. Now, I'm not going to say his career's over.
I'm with you.
His career's not over. However, if you guys want to actually be a competitive team, you got to start looking at the draft.
Yeah.
Or free agency, but probably the draft.
So what's going to suck is
because
we're gonna win too many games again.
Yeah, you're gonna win too many games. You're gonna have probably about 7 or 8 wins. If we're looking at the high end, around 7 or 8 wins, 5 or 6 on the short end.
Are you a Marvel fan?
A Marvel fan, yes.
Yeah, in a different world with the TVA, I think we would have been in your situation right now if a couple games went our way.
Oh, you mean not TBA. Starting Tommy Cutlets?
No. Well, Tommy Cutlets wasn't the reason why.
You're talking about this year. You're talking about
this year.
Okay. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, you guys wanted to draft Jaden Daniels. I mean,
we did. I was all for it, and then
you couldn't find a trade partner. You couldn't find a trade partner.
Well, the Patriots were like, "Nah, man, we're losing this game."
Speaking of which, the Patriots are planning to start Drake May next week.
Yeah, Drake May has entered the chat.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, Earl, glad that you're back on. Glad to have you, bud. We will talk about your Cowboys in just a second. Earl, Dan, I'm going to interrupt you for a second. Earl, did you want to say anything about the Commanders or the Giants before we move on?
Yeah, talking about the football wizard kids.
Oh my gosh, you're still hating.
No, I told you, and I mean this. Until they get the logo or something back that reminds me of the Redskins, I will call y'all by the name. But until that time, y'all are gonna be football wizard kids to me.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
What I was gonna say is the team is playing with confidence. That's something that you guys needed to do. Tyler Biadasz, he's playing with confidence. And the more and more that confidence builds, the more and more he's going to be great. The more and more the line is going to be great. The defensive line, they're playing together. The linebackers, they're flying to the ball. Frankie Louvu, he's doing his thing. Wagner's doing his. The secondary, holding it down. I give credit where it's due. I don't like y'all, but I'm going to give credit on what I see. I'll be able to see more when y'all play Baltimore at 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah, that's the big challenge.
Yeah, that's going to be the true test. You're going to be playing against a team that's above 500.
How would you guys react if we won? Not only that we won, but it was more than a 1-score game. Everybody can chime in on this one.
Well, yeah, y'all are going to – if y'all win, it's going to be y'all earn that win. Keep stacking wins.
But in the grander scheme of things, does that change your perception of this team from being a good story to being an actual problem?
Yeah, for sure. And I think with the Ravens, obviously we know the track record of the Ravens. You just got to keep it close with the Ravens. They're going to let you in the game. It's just for whatever weird reason, they just can't close out.
All you guys need to do is to stop the run.
That's going to be the hard part. I need John Allen and Daron Payne to really step up.
Yeah.
Y'all going to need more of that.
I have Derrick Henry and fantasy too. So.
Yeah. So
I'll set the edge, y'all be solid.
Yeah. So Giants, any reaction? We were just finished. Dan, I'm assuming you were almost done with the Giants, correct?
Yeah. No, yeah. I just the last thing I wanted to mention, was that we mentioned the offensive line before. They were playing really well. Tyrone Tracy, like I said, 7 yards per carry.
He
which
should
was
be your
awesome.
starter moving forward. Just saying.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna be getting more carries. I think with Singletary, he's still a savvy vet. I think
you can have him as your backup. He's a great backup.
No, I know. I want to see it more than 1 week out of Tracy. So I think right now you still start Singletary and then keep on gauging Tracy. But what I saw out of Tracy, if he starts, I wouldn't hate it, obviously. So, I'm trying to think what else. I've been talking a lot of junk about him as of late. It's because of matchup based. Deontay Banks had a good game on Sunday. He forced the fumble on BK, and he had 3 other breakups. So he heard his coach's talk in the pressers this week in the news. So I'm glad to see that. Unfortunately, he's still a long way to go to being that bona fide number 1. But going up against neighbors weekly at practice, and then getting every single number 1 wide receiver, no different this week with Jamar. So
how big of a deal is it that you guys won without Malik?
A huge deal. I think it shows that we don't have to throw Malik the ball 20 times a game just to be surviving in the game per se. And it was huge that we were able to establish the running game. And continue killing the clock like we've done the last 3 weeks, like I mentioned earlier. So if they can continue to do that, we're going to be in the mix a lot for the rest of the season. So Sunday night, I'm excited.
Earl, any thoughts on the Giants before we move on? Earl and Maurice?
Yes, I got something to say about the Giants, Dan.
Yo.
I'm starting to see what the Giants truly are, and they are really showing a great display on what their next quarterback's going to be next season.
I know.
With this team. So, yeah.
Fingers crossed, bud.
Yeah. Y'all defense is playing together. Your front four is definitely a team, definitely a front that's going to be continuing to get better. And having Brian Burns there, having Thibodeau, and then having Lawrence there, y'all are creating a culture there that is going to really help your team. Y'all just got to get the whole QB situation straight, and the line is playing better as well. And I have to say, y'all actually won this game practically on all 3 phases of the game.
Yeah.
And I'll give credit to Bryce Ford Whedon for Lucas.
Let's go.
Yeah, and going back to what Earl was saying, Dan, let me ask you, how confident are you in your offensive line? Because Daniel Jones is looking pretty, I wouldn't say pretty good, but he's looking okay. How much of that is credited to the offensive line?
A lot of it. He's able to not have to worry and process while running on every single play and dodging live bullets, So obviously let's face it, we all know Daniel Jones is limited, but he could be an adequate quarterback, but obviously to get to the next level where ultimately any Giant fan wants to be. I know we got some delusional ones saying that Daniel can be the ones to lead us. I don't see that, but I think we are there. We're almost there. Like I mentioned, we're gonna be frisky this year. The way they've played the last month is I'm satisfied right now. I'm pretty satisfied. As long as they keep on playing for Dave's, I've mentioned this. Dave's got the players going, and you can just tell when he has the matchup going offensively. He's done a decent job. Is he Andy Reid offensive play calling right now? No, but we don't have that talent at quarterback. But yeah, I really do like how Dave's is calling the games as of late. It's just ultimately it's the players making the players, and we're dropping a lot of passes, we're fumbling at the wrong time, and just not being able to focus all 60 minutes. And we've lost the Cowboys and Commanders, so both those games were heartbreaking losses for the Giants. So you guys
won the games for both of them, yeah.
And you guys both see how close the Giants actually are, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. And on that note, Earl, you guys had a rain delay, but you guys did play. I could not stay up for the full game, but
Yeah, I
tell
passed
us,
out
tell
around
us.
12:30 too.
I had to wake up at 5:30, so I passed out around 11:30.
Okay.
At around halftime or the beginning of the third quarter. But Earl, tell us about the Giants. Are you going to preach to us today, or are we going to have a cooler sermon today?
Wait, you want me to talk about the Giants again?
No, not the Giants. Sorry, the Cowboys. Sorry. Are you going to preach to us about the Cowboys, or are we going to have a mild sermon today?
I don't know. Depending on how I feel, I'm going to see how it goes. I'm just going to rock it. This game is definitely one of rich rivalry history tradition, and is basically one that I feel like is a really solid rivalry against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Whenever they show up, it's a great game, no matter if it's good, if it's bad, if it's ugly, if it's nice, if it's a blowout. It's still that traditional rivalry that kicked back in the early 70s and to this day. Dallas Cowboys was able to stack another win going with this victory over Pittsburgh 20-17, where I thought the offense was clicking a lot more, where I thought they could have put two more touchdowns up, but some miscues and still trying to work out the kinks with the offense, they were able to secure with a last minute game winning touchdown by Jalen Tolbert. Overall, I feel like this game really just showed the true testament of what Dallas can truly be when they play together as a team. It's not about superstars, not about one guy. You got 11 men playing on each specialty of offense, defense, and special teams. And when you're able to show up and work together, that shows how great a team can be. Dallas had a bunch of injuries, and it went into this game very shorthanded, but still showed a capability to be able to play the game, not just having these stars out, but anybody step up. I saw a lot of guys step up in this game, but I'm going to shift over to what went wrong. What went wrong in this game was the turnovers. Dak, Mike McCarthy, I blame y'all because for some reason, the turnovers where you got too pass happy in the first quarter. And I think that really just kind of speared what you were trying to do. If you would have just more simple, run first, then pass, then yes, I think this would have been more of an overall balanced game where Dak wouldn't have had those three turnovers, but really wasn't pressing the ball. So overall, I thought with the turnovers, I really think we could have destroyed this Pittsburgh Steelers team. Got the dub, but not to the point of like being able to destroy this team, but winning in clutch moments. Another thing was the injuries. The injury bug hit us yet again. Marshawn Nealon, he's out for 4 weeks with a meniscus tear. He's going to have surgery on it, and he should be back later within the season. But it's nothing that was like season ending or anything like that. Tyler Guyton, he had a knee injury. He had to step out as well. They kicked Tyler Smith back at left tackle, TJ Bass at left guard, and they just kind of ran with it. Another thing that went wrong, the right side on the offensive line is looking a little sus. It's to the point now, I think Terrence Steele is still recovering from that ACL tear he had 2 seasons ago, and it's really not getting better. I'm not seeing the movements. He got iron skillet pans his hips, just having a hard time trying to move. And I'm just thinking, I hope his knee isn't the problem. And then Zach Martin, I really think this is his last dance. I think the more that he's like playing, he's not that same Zach Martin that I saw 2 seasons ago. Even when he held out, he was still like not picking up as much as he needed to. But I really hope they have a contingency plan, especially when these guys, especially Zach Martin, when he moves on, because he's definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer, where I like what Mike McCarthy's doing with interchanging the linemen, making sure that they're not comfortable in one spot, but being comfortable in all the offensive line positions. So overall, I give credit where it's due with that, but definitely the right side of the offensive line got to play better. What went right? The next man up mentality, which I talked about how TJ Bass stepped in, Brock Hoffman stepped in, and Tyler Smith stepping in at left tackle it showed what you could do, especially with that offensive line, that when you're able to fix the line to where it needs to go, if someone's not doing something right and you put the other guy in that does the thing right, that's going to get you where you need to go. I love what I saw from that. And it really showed what you can do, especially when you run the rock. I got a chance to see Rico Dowdle play his best game. And that's one just saying because he's been in the league for about maybe 4 to 5 years. And this is the best game he had in the season where I like what they're doing, but they got to keep him on a pitch count because he's also injury prone. Rico Dowdle, he ran for 20 carries for 87 yards and then had a touchdown pass that was really clutch that Dak really needed in the end zone. So I give credit to Rico Dowdle for that. Jalen Tolbert, he stepped up, especially with Brandon Cooks on injury for the next 4 weeks. Well, technically 3 weeks. He has a chance to secure that wide receiver 2 spot. Tolbert, you the man. I'm going to shift over to the defense. The defense showed up. When you didn't have Micah Parsons and then you didn't have DeMarcus Lawrence, you basically had to figure out who's going to be that guy. Marshawn Nealon had some good snaps early, got hurt. Tyrus Wheat came in, stepped up. Chauncey Golston, he stepped up on the edges. Osa, he played well. Carl Lawson, he played well. That front four was clicking. And then the linebackers was playing well as well. Demarion Overshown, he is the best linebacker we have on the field. He's also, I believe, is the leader of the defense because with his tenacity and energy, I feel like they were missing that last season, him as a rookie. He just has that raw potential that is one that you would love to see in a linebacker. I wish Micah could play linebacker with them because with both of them at linebacker, my Lord, this defense will take another step. But just with us being detrimented by injuries on the edges is really hurting us, especially with Micah playing off ball with the capability to have an all-world generational talent. He has it, but I would love to see him more playing linebacker because with him, Overshown, Maris Leofau, that's a nasty combo. And I'll give credit to Eric Kendricks. He showed what he can do as well, especially with the linebacker room. I'm really happy to see what's going on with the linebacker room. That it was something that was missing a lot of last season. So I'm happy to see what they're doing. They got to keep it up though. I know I've been calling the defense soft, and they're playing with a lot more physicality, more toughness. Keep it going. I'm gonna be on y'all like white on rice all this season.
As you should.
As I should. You're exactly right. Another thing that I saw was the offense being able to open up. McCarthy, this is his time coming back to Pittsburgh, where it's his hometown. And I'm so happy he got this win because I feel like the last couple of times where he could have got the win, especially with avenging against the Packers, Kellen Moore failed him. In the postseason, Mike McCarthy failed himself in getting revenge on Green Bay. But this time around, being able to beat Pittsburgh, that was something that was very special for him. And this was the first time that he received a game ball from his team. So that was truly special there. Him opening up the offense is something that I really wanted to see them do because they've always started off slow. But seeing what Mike McCarthy wants to do, if you get the young guys involved, you get the speed involved, you can beat a defense by death by 1,000 cuts. And I got a chance to see that in this game against Pittsburgh. Regardless if it was raining, you still was lighting up on the yardage. Like you can really minimize what a defense can do when you got multiple pieces working at all fruition. Where I saw the bubble screen, I saw the orbit motion, I saw the deep motion, I saw the side motion, and just seeing how you can interchange your guys. That's what I wanted the offense to do. And I hope Mike McCarthy can continue to do that because as the season gets tougher and the season gets going, you're going to have to be creative with your plays. And I'm tired of seeing the stale look. When you add that new flavor to it, you got some great combos going, Baskin and Robbins. And I have this little segment I'm going to do called the JT Gamer Room. these guys are going to be going to the gamer room. Rico Dowdle, Jalen Tolbert, Dak Prescott. Counting your blessings when you recover a fumble at the goal line. He did something Cam Newton couldn't do in the Super Bowl. I give Dak his credit. He made the touchdown pass that he needed to, and he won when it counted. Salute to you. You're in the gamer room. I got Linval Joseph, Tyrus Wheat. Y'all stepped in for Micah and DeMarcus Lawrence. Y'all in the gamer room. And the other two guys I got is Demarion Overshown, Jordan Lewis. That's how you play physicality at the corner position. You call George Pickens, said that Pittsburgh needed a new receiver because George Pickens is weak. He was weak in this game. That's how you bring out the intensity, especially in the secondary that is suffering from injuries. And then the last guy I'm gonna bring in is Mozzie Smith, aka Mickey Mouse Hands. He stepped up. Continue to stack good days on good days, Cowboys. And I really want to know, are Cowboy fans gonna have a win at home finally? Because the last time we won was last season at home. We need to see something in the W column, but it's a tough test with Detroit. Not gonna be easy, but credit to y'all and the guys that I named. Y'all are in the JT Gamer Room this week.
That is a new segment that I was unaware that Earl was going to do. Okay. If that's what you want to do. So who's your player of the game? You got to choose one.
I'm going to give it to Jalen Tolbert.
Jalen Tolbert. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay, so let's get to our social media stuff here. Now, I believe, Maurice, you are first, and I think we got a mailbag question, right?
We did. And you wanted to talk about Jalen Hurts. Here's your opportunity. Which Philadelphia Eagle has surprised you guys so far this season, good or bad? This is a roundtable conversation, so I'm gonna start with the guest, Dan.
Gonna pain me to say, but Saquon dropping that one pass against the Falcons on Monday night, he sealed the deal. I know most of the Eagle fans just, why didn't you just run the ball? It's just Saquon not being able to close out games. He did it like 3 or 4 times last year. So for your sake, I don't want it to happen. I want him to keep on messing up. But but for your sake, he's gonna share. He's gonna clean it up. He's the Saquon of old. He's being exactly what we all hoped Saquon would be, and knocking on wood, because I still like Saquon. He's a good guy. He's gonna be that all pro running back that we all know and expected him to be. So
okay,
he's gonna keep it going. But yeah, that was nice when he did drop that pass.
All right, Earl.
And this is about an Eagle?
Yes, good or bad?
Good. I'm going to say I like what Dallas Goedert has in his capability as a tight end. That game against the New Orleans Saints, I thought that was really impressive because when you needed a guy to step up, Jalen Hurts put the ball in his hands and he made his moment count. So from what I saw from Goddard, he's that tight end that can stretch the field. You could probably even have him as a number 3 receiver, pretty much with what A.J. Brown and Smitty is. And
I should know with A.J. and Smith out, Dallas Goedert is leading the Eagles in receptions right now in receiving yards.
Yeah. Right. So you got to continue to feed him the ball because that's going to continue to build the confidence he needs. But I'm also going to tell you, because I told Maurice this last week, is that you also got to utilize your team's best superpowers. So, yeah, feed Goddard, but also learn that running the ball is your bread and butter, and you should continue to do that.
Okay.
So, did it say player or just anybody on the Eagles?
Anyone on the Eagles, good or bad?
Well, I was, you want me to say Jalen Hurts, and I won't, because I know most of his problems this season aren't his fault. It goes back to Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore played one season as a backup in the NFL, if I remember correctly, or at least one season with the Cowboys. Correct, Earl?
Wait, repeat that.
Kellen Moore, he was only one season as a backup QB, right? And that was only for the Cowboys, correct?
Yeah, I think it was 2, but Dak beat him out. He was hurt.
So my point being here is that Kellen Moore has very little experience playing in the NFL. He's relatively young as an offensive coordinator. And we've seen it in 3 stops now that he is a pass-happy guy and does not play to the strengths of his QBs. Hurts is not and Maurice, I'm not trying to attack you, but Hurts is not a good intermediary passer. He's a good dump guy and he's a good deep baller. He cannot attack the mid-range of passing yards, okay? It's not his strength. Mm-hmm. Yet, for some reason, he is not only doing that, he's making him throw an excessive amount. When you have Saquon Barkley, you need to look. He could be leading the league in rushing right now, even if you guys had a bye week. If you actually bought in and went all in on Saquon Barkley, why not? And I get that you have all these weapons on offense, but guess what? They weren't there for the past 3 weeks. Not completely healthy anyway. So Kellen Moore. I'm not surprised, but I am disappointed. And me and Earl warned you about this over the summer. We're seeing it now. That's just my thoughts.
My only thing for Kellen Moore, and I'll say this and I digress, is that you've been with the Cowboys, you've been with the Chargers, now you're with the Eagles. At some point in time, you got to know what is going to help the team best. My only thing is you got to utilize with what Jalen Hurts can do. If you know that he's not picking up on the reads like he needs to, get him back to running the ball. You got to build confidence with him in that. I just think with them paying him, they're having him throw the ball as if he's a top quarterback, trying to make him something he's not. But he has a really good deep ball, and I just think you should focus on what he's good at by running the ball, which will open up the pass.
Yeah, yeah. So on that note, Earl, it's time for your favorite segment, and no, it's not pizza time. Thought you got slick with that last week. I caught that.
Oh, at pizza time?
No, it's not pizza time, sir. What time is it?
It's tutty time. I'm kidding.
No, that's even worse.
All right.
At least I enjoy pizza.
Oh, yeah, pizza's great. All right. It's Who's That Football Player? Dang it. This football player played with the Dallas Cowboys. First and foremost, Lucas, why didn't you let me pick this player?
I messaged you. You never messaged me back, and it was 10 o'clock at night.
I never got it.
I sent it to you on
What's done is done. What's done is done.
What's done is done.
This football player back in the 2010 season had a completion of 65.7% with 2365 on passing yards, 16 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. His career awards is the 2003 Comeback Player of the Year. Guys, who's that football player?
Now, Earl, I will save you for last because you usually get these right. I'm going to ask Dan first.
Repeat the question. I'm sorry.
Who's that football player?
Yeah. Repeat the accolades.
Okay. He had a completion percentage of 65.7%. He passed for 2,365 yards with 16 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. His career awards, 2003 Comeback Player of the Year.
And the quarterback.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Back for the Cowboys 2010.
For the Cowboys 2010. It's a quarterback.
I knew I probably wasn't gonna stump Earl, but I'm hoping that I can stump you guys.
Quarterback in 2010 for the Cowboys. My brain's fried right now. Tell me,
Maurice,
I'm gonna kick myself in the butt.
This was during the Romo era, but he was injured, correct?
I can either confirm or deny.
So who was the backup for Romo?
Can I say it, please?
No, they have to guess first.
Okay.
Backup quarterback for Dallas.
Oh, was it Kidner?
I was gonna say, he didn't win comeback player. 2003, right?
Earl?
I just remember, I don't know the accolade. I just remember the backup quarterback.
Earl, tell him.
It was John Kitna.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I didn't realize he won comeback player in
because
2003.
Because you want to know how I knew? When Romo got hurt in the Giants game Monday night, he got hurt and Dez Bryant went off. When he was hurt and then played against the Giants, he lit him up, Dez Bryant, again, and he pretty much played the rest of that season.
Yeah, Kidna played like 11 or 10 games that year.
Yep, I remember it. Yeah, it was tough. I was at that point, I was like, yeah, Romo, it's time to go. Hang up the cleats, brother.
He just had gotten the starting job in like 2006.
But them injuries, man. Injuries like stack up.
Well, he still ended up playing another 6 more years, so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. 2014 was a magical season.
Yeah, but Earl, so how hard was that on a scale of 1 to 5? Did I stump you a little bit at first, or did you know?
Not at all. I already knew. When it was 2010 season, I was like, oh, yeah, Romo didn't play. That was
I didn't want to do something in 1980 because then these guys would never have gotten it. No offense, guys. Neither would of our listeners. I know, like, if I go back in the 80s or 70s, I can have a chance at stumping you, but I don't want to do that to the rest of our guys. So, anyway.
But yeah, that's the Who's That football player. Kitna, yeah, he was one of those solid QBs.
Now, normally Mal does the next segment, but Earl, I'm going to ask if you can do it for Mal because she's not here. It's the poll question.
Oh, boy. I got to look up the poll questions.
It's a Commanders poll.
Ew.
Honestly, I thought Maurice, when it first posted, I was like, Maurice, why are you posting a poll like that?
Oh, I posted it?
No, I thought you did. It was actually...
when was it posted again?
It was posted last Thursday.
Last Thursday. Man, y'all put a lot of... Oh, okay.
Well,
it was only one question, right?
Yeah, it was only one question.
Okay. Ooh, all right. This poll question: where do you think the Washington Football Wizards,
Commanders,
I ain't saying it, will be at the halfway point of the season?
In the division.
44% say first, 33% say second, and 22% say third.
Nobody said last. I'll take it because we all know whose team's going to be. We all know whose team's going to be last. No offense, Dan.
Ooh.
No, it's okay.
It's too. Look. Hold on, Dan. Hold on.
He's trying. He's really trying tonight.
He's filling his chops.
I feel.
Question:
you know
how got a picture
rarely we get to be on top of the division.
No, I get it. Don't worry.
No, you're good.
I wouldn't. Dan, if you were on top of the division, I wouldn't expect anything else.
I've dealt with Rio.
I was about to say, compared to Rio, I feel like I am being very calm and very.
Yeah, I know.
Don't worry, Dan.
He's getting his first whiskers in his beard right now.
Okay,
I get
First off, Dan, you know I got more than just a few whiskers. I ain't no middle school kid. But I get what you're saying. I get what you look. And like I said, compared to Rio, I feel like I'm being very calm, very nice to everybody.
No, it's good. I'm all for the fun.
Lucas, all I'm going to say, we'll see who finishes the race.
Okay.
Listen.
Because right now it's too early.
I'd rather you guys win the division than the Cowboys and the Eagles. So, hey, man.
You know, you're the second Giants person that told me that this week.
I mean, am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Look, all I'm going to say, win your division games.
Yeah,
I mean, so far,
I'm already in the hole. 2 games for that.
You know, by the way, I think me and Bao have a bet. So if we sweep the Giants this year, she has to get a Sam Hartman, Commanders, customized shirt.
Yeah, I heard.
So I'm pretty excited, and she has to take a picture of it and post it. I'm ready for it. Let's go.
So you really think y'all gonna beat the Giants again?
I got Chipotle.
I got good feelings. I got good vibes. Good vibes going.
That man is.
I mean, look, we were still trying to figure out our offense lot. The second in week 2 when we played them. Now we have and we won by not even scoring a touchdown. Now our offense is so smooth. Okay. So I'm just saying,
you remember what I said,
scoring
right?
A touchdown,
Lucas, you remember what I said, right?
You're gonna have to remind me.
You were playing against 1-win teams. Now you're gonna be able to play against a team that's above 500. That'll be the true test.
Yeah, and that's the real truth. We'll get to that at the end of the pod.
So stop drinking your Kool-Aid and
I'm gonna
be humble, sir.
Okay, I'm going to drink the Kool-Aid, but I'll try to be humble. That being said, we do have a trivia question. We do have an Eagles trivia question, and I thought this was a pretty good one. Okay,
so quicker than that.
Yeah. Okay, you are not the little Geico guy with the fish stuff.
The gecko?
I would never.
You are full of it, and you know it.
You're full of cheese.
I do love me some cheese, but I actually did not eat cheese tonight, so get at me.
Mazel, that's fantastic.
I just had a lot of.
What you do? Eat a Pop-Tart?
Nope, I ate a lot of junk food instead.
Sir, drink a ginger ale.
Hey! Baby steps. Anyway, so here's the question: which former Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver has the highest yards per reception during the Super Bowl era with a minimum of 30 receptions?
I know that one.
It has to be. Well, Dan, you have a guess?
Yeah, Dan can go first.
T.O.
Maurice?
Can I go next?
No, Maurice can go next.
No. Does Earl know?
Oh, well, let's see. Earl, I don't know if Earl knows. I don't ask him beforehand.
Yeah, Earl, go ahead, sir. Is it Harold Carmichael?
Maurice?
I said Mike Quick.
You are all wrong.
What?
It is actually Dante Stallworth.
What?
You're killing me, Smalls. Are you serious?
I am dead serious.
Where did you get this information from?
Where?
Football Reference.
I'm gonna have to fact check that.
Wait, hold on.
I have it. I will send you the screenshot.
Was he on the Eagles long enough to do that?
He was on the Eagles in 2006.
Wait, Lucas, I thought the question dealt with the highest yards per reception with 30 receptions.
Yes, he had, in that year, give me 1 second here. He had, in terms of receptions, he had 38 receptions, and he had 19.1 yards per reception, 5 touchdowns.
All right, I give that to you, Lucas. You got me.
In games, he played 12 games that season.
Interesting. I did not know that.
I didn't know that one.
I thought that was, to be fair, I don't think anybody else got that one. It might have been a little bit too hard, but I thought it was a fun one. Tommy McDonald was close, but he was pre-Super Bowl era, same thing. I mean, Tommy McDonald had more. He was pre-Super Bowl era, and so was not Les McDonald. Who was it? Eggs Maskey, who played in
the Eggs.
1935 to 1936.
Spit the fire, call me a squirrel. Okay. All right.
Now, if we're going with just guys, any type of guys without restrictions, the answer would have been John Mallory. In 1968, he had 1 reception for 58 yards, and he was listed as a defensive back.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So anyway,
good job, Lucas.
You got me with that one,
the stat nerd. You got us with that one.
I got some good ones here and there. I try to throw them out, but yeah, no, I feel like there's just no way I can stump. How many times have I actually stumped Earl on who's that football player? I feel like it's only been like 3 or 4 times.
Rarely.
I got to start pushing. See, the thing is, I'm gonna have to throw out old guys, and I don't want to do that to our fans, but I feel like if that's the only way I can get Earl.
I think I got you, sir, because I look at football every day. So
you might, but I got you on this one at least.
That's trivia. That's not who's that football player.
Okay,
sir.
Fair enough. So anyway, Dante Stallworth, y'all remember him? Gosh, that was a long time ago, wasn't that?
It was.
Yeah, I'm not going to bring up what he did.
I forgot that he was on the Eagles. When I think of Dante Stallworth, I think of when he was on the Browns.
That in the 1 year he was on the Pats, the 07 Pats.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was on the Pats that 1 year. Anyway, so I think unless we have anything else on the agenda, which I don't think we do.
Matchups.
Matchups. Yes, Maurice, go ahead, break down the matchups and do our outro.
Yeah, but real quick, I want to get you guys' take. I know this is an NFC East podcast, but what was your guys' reaction when you heard the Jets let go of Robert Saleh?
They're catering to Aaron Rodgers.
I thought it was last season. I thought he was going to.
Yeah, well, with me living in the market, it wasn't. See, this is where the Jets do the Jets. He should have been fired at the end of last season, and then now it's a whole catastrophe of Rodgers. Clearly, too many signs of him not liking him, and then everything's pointing that he clearly didn't want him, and he fired because he's basically running the team. So,
and it's not even Salah's fault. It was
Jets.
Rodgers has not been playing well.
Right.
Yeah.
But Salah's just not a good coach. He's a glorified DC, and there's
that brings to my question to you, Dan.
What's up?
Depending how you guys do this season and y'all decide to like clean house maybe at DC, how would you feel about Salah being the defensive coordinator with what y'all got on defense?
I wouldn't hate it. Salah's I just mentioned, he's a good DC. He just can't. He couldn't be a head coach. There's no in-game adjustments. It looked like the players didn't care about him, like everything else like that.
There was literally a video of Aaron Rodgers pushing him, shoving him.
Yeah, that was the Patriot game on Thursday night, like 3 weeks ago. Yeah. No,
but the problem I'm sorry. The problem wasn't Salah. The problem was the offense. The defense was playing fine.
Listen. I agree with you, but him being the head coach and his record. I was listening to the fan today, like Todd Bowles, Mangini. Like all the crappy Jet coaches that everybody, Todd Bowles, like all the crappy Jet head coaches that they ran out of town had better winning percentages than Salah. So
Rex Ryan.
Todd Bowles is a good head coach.
Well, now he is. When he was a Jet, he was basically.
Well, is
Robert
that really
Saleh.
his fault or is it the owner's fault?
Well, it's the owner. It is the owner's fault. Yes, I agree.
His quarterback was Zach Wilson.
Todd Bowles? No, he wasn't.
Yeah, his first year was with him. Yeah.
Was it really? I thought it was wild. I thought he was like.
Yeah, Gino.
Like Gino era. Yeah.
Yeah, Gino, and then I think the first year.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah, I thought it was like Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. Sorry, yeah, you're right. And then it was Gase. That's right, with Sam Darnold. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Sam Darnold, Maurice. Shout out to him, by the way. Got the Minnesota.
Yeah.
You got to wonder if the Vikings are going to stay with Sam Darnold next season once their rookie gets back from injury.
Nah, they got to give flowers to Brian Flores because he's got that defense clicking. And all they got to do is sustain on offense. The defense doing their thing. So
and O'Connell's a good coach. I like O'Connell.
The question is who's going to be their quarterback next year? That's the real question.
It's going to be can JJ get back healthy?
Really,
well, that is true.
I think they're not going to be rushed.
I think
no rush now.
I think with Sam, if Sam keeps this up, we have a long season to go. If he keeps this up, I would bring him back and then let him play until he sucks again. So
yeah. I mean, if I'm Sam, maybe I'm looking for a bigger contract elsewhere too, because I think he's on a 1-year deal, right? So
yeah.
So
I mean, I wouldn't want to leave O'Connell.
I probably wouldn't either. He's a really good quarterbacks coach. Anyway, so Maurice, now that we're back on the subject of the NFC East, let's wrap things up with the prediction with the matchups for next week.
All right, so Commanders versus Ravens. Are you still confident, Lucas?
I mean, I wasn't confident before the season.
We all picked the Ravens, by the way.
Yeah, we all did. Yeah, that's look. It's not whether or not we win or lose in this game. It's how we play. Would I love to win? Absolutely.
It's the eye test.
It's the eye test for this game. Because if we are competitive and we keep this close in a 1 to 1.5 score game, like under 10 points, win or lose, I'm going to be like, okay, we're the real deal. But if we get blown out or spanked in this game, that's just not a great look. And look, this is, people are going to say, oh, this is, Lamar Jackson 2.0. Jaden Daniels is not Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has never had the pocket presence that Jaden Daniels has. Let's be clear.
Yeah, but he's won a Heisman.
Oh my gosh! Just because they're Heisman and running quarterbacks does not mean that they're the same thing. You know that. So
hey, look, man. Hey, Daniels is a rookie. He's just getting his feet wet. We'll see how he does in year 2, but for right now, he is balling. So
yeah. So look, and like I said, I think if the Commanders win this game, you got to look at them as a real threat for a playoff spot at this point. Like not just a playoff spot, but actually to make noise in the playoffs. Because like you look at the rest of our schedule, it's not super hard.
Yeah, I know y'all got an easy schedule.
Well, that's because we were 4th place in the division last year, so they're not giving us.
Y'all were trash.
Yeah, we were. I'm like, yeah. I mean, sometimes trash can get recycled, and that's what's happening right now with Chef Peters. So anyway,
you're gonna turn some trash into gold.
That's that's what.
That's fool's gold, Maurice.
No. We're turning this trash into renewable energy, and that's what this team is, full of energy right now.
So I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I like.
So anyway, so that being said, look, I'm looking more for how we play, not if we win or lose. If we win, I would love that, but at the end of the day, I'm looking at how we play. And how Daniels deals with a team like the Ravens and how our defense holds up against that running attack, because that is lethal.
All right, so moving on. My Eagles versus the Cleveland Browns.
You guys should win.
Yeah, you guys
shouldn't be. If it's a close game, then it's
I
tweeted
you guys. This is Saquon rushing for 500 yards.
I tweeted, if the Eagles lose to this Cleveland Browns team, Nick Sirianni will be the 2nd head coach fired this season.
I agree.
Cleveland Browns.
They should have done it during the bye week.
Maybe, yeah.
They come out flat. Like I said, Kellen Moore is the head coach killer.
Well, I'm more concerned about the defense. If they make Watson look good, then it's something serious.
The Browns
Devin White
could get the defense to win them the game, though. So we'll see.
We will see. The NFC East game of the week, another tough one for the Cowboys. Lions versus Cowboys.
Tough matchup. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. This is another great test for Dallas, seeing how they play, especially shorthanded. And yeah, I just really wonder, Dallas Cowboys, when will Cowboy fans see another win in Dallas this season? Hopefully on Sunday. We'll see what happens. Let's go.
All right, and finally, Bengals versus Giants.
We should be the prime time game, not you guys. I'm sorry.
No, I'm
Excuse you.
I'm okay with that. That should have been the prime. They should have flexed it. I get it. No, I see. This is like it's similar to what happened last week, with Seattle. Everybody's like, "Well, wow, Seattle played great against the Lions and everything else like that." It's same with the Bengals. Their offense is looking really good right now. I think the Giants are going to be able to slow down the pace a little bit. And
your offense should be able to against them.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game and the Giants cover.
Are the Giants going to be able to stop Chase and Higgins?
No. Probably not. Not. But like I mentioned, the last 3 weeks we've been able to control the game clock. So hopefully we find a way to do that again.
Look,
but Dan, with the Bengals though, they're one mess up away from being done for the whole season. So
yeah, that's true. They need to go like on a 5-0 run to salvage their season.
So
Dan, I'll throw you a bone. I believe y'all will win by 5 points.
Hey, I'll take it, man. Honestly, the way they've been playing, and hopefully Neighbors bounces back. I'll say they cover.
Now, Earl did predict a loss in the preseason. I do want to note that for the Giants.
Right. Well, the D-line, their O-line isn't going to stop our D-line.
No. Like I said, will be an interesting game. It could end up being a very ugly, sludgy game, but I'm all for that.
And if that's the case, we're gonna win.
Could be.
If it's a track meet, we all know we're not.
No, you guys don't have a chance. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, them corners better be ready against Chase.
Yeah, Deontay.
Some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, Deontay Banks is gonna have a rough night. After me talking highly about him.
Yeah, Mikey Sanders still had a rough night against Chase too. So yeah.
No, I know.
It happens. He's
a lot of people. He fell to me in 2 leagues, so I was pumped about it.
All right, Maurice, on that part, go ahead, play us out, bud.
All right, before we go, we want to thank Dan again for jumping on and helping us out tonight. Check him out on the Thunder and Lightning podcast.
Thanks, boys.
No problem at all.
Yeah, salute.
Mm-hmm. We'll make sure that we tag you in the YouTube videos because you guys are mainly on YouTube, right?
Yeah, we're only on YouTube right now.
Yeah, so we'll make sure that we tag you in the YouTube video so that you can get the share a little bit of our fan bases with each other.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
All right, so once again, thank everybody for listening to our podcast this week. Make sure to subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. And also check us out on YouTube as well. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and give our videos a thumbs up while you're at it. Make sure to follow us on X, Instagram, and Facebook at 13_Rings Podcast. Until next time, have a good day.
See ya.
Blessings.